What's up, future millionaires? It's Mike the Investor, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Algorand project. Now, there are 5 different segments we're going to cover. The first thing we're going to dive into is the price chart of Algorand. Secondly, we're going to dive into what is the Algorand blockchain. Thirdly, we're going to look at what is the Algorand cryptocurrency. And then fourthly, we're going to dive into the future of Algorand. And then last but not least, the 5th thing we're going to dive into is Algorand a good investment? And so before diving into it, definitely take advantage of grabbing some free Bitcoin by using the Voyager and BlockFi link down below, where you're able to earn passive income just for holding your cryptocurrencies on those platforms. Now let's get ready to dive right into it. Alright, crypto investors, welcome back to the channel. Now before we dive into it, I must tell you this is a jam-packed video, and of course I have timestamps down below so that way you can go back and look at some specific parts in this video to get a better understanding. But let's go ahead and look at the price chart of Algorand. So according to CoinGecko, the entire cryptocurrency market cap is around 2.1 trillion, and we are down just 0.1% on the day. And if we look at the 24-hour volume, 132 billion, and if we look at Bitcoin dominance, 39.6%, and we have Ethereum at 18%. Now if we look at Algorand, this is the number 18th ranked coin, so it's in the top 20, according to CoinGecko, and we can see the current price is $1.99 per coin, and it's down about 4.3% on the 24 hours. Now if we look at the market cap here, it's around 10.4 billion. The circulating supply is currently 5.2 billion, and if we look at the total supply, it's a little bit more than the circulating supply. This will include all of the Algorand coins that the Algorand Foundation holds, and then for the max supply, it is a total of 10 billion. All right, and so as we move down and look at the price chart here and some of the market stats, looking on the right side here, we can see for the entire all-time high for Algorand, it was 2 years ago, which was in June 2019, $3.56, and the all-time low was last year of March, which was 10 cents. So anyone who was able to purchase around this price, and still holding, congratulations to you. And if we look here, we are on the 30-day chart, and we can see how Algorand has really just shot up in a short amount of time. So moving all the way back to August 13th, we can see it was around 93 cents, but it got lower than 90 cents. Let's see, right here you can see August 17th, it was around 87 cents, and then it started to move up, and then it consolidated around $1, and then before we know it, it shot all the way up. It dropped back down, and then it shot up again, well over that $2.40. And so that's kind of what's been going on with Algorand. And if we move down just a little bit, you can see on the 7 days up over 64%, on the 2 weeks, which is 14 days, 91.6%, and then 30 days it is up 125%. That's pretty impressive. Alright, so that is the current price for the Algorand cryptocurrency. So now let's dive into what is the Algorand blockchain. Now the Algorand blockchain, it prides itself on solving the trilemma, which is security, decentralization, and scalability. And so it prides itself on increasing all 3 of these properties without decreasing one of those. And so let's briefly look at the website here just so we can kind of understand the technology behind Algorand itself. And so we can see here the Algorand protocol: decentralization, scale, and security. Now you can build on a stable platform that you trust. And so let's go ahead and move down here a little bit. And so we can see here our consensus mechanism is permissionless, pure proof of stake. It ensures full participation, protection, and speed with a truly decentralized network. Now with blocks finalized in seconds, Algorand's transaction throughput is on par with large payment and financial networks. No forking, no uncertainty. And so now let's kind of get a closer look at what makes Algorand so special, which is the pure proof of stake mechanism. Let's check this out. And so the pure proof of stake mechanism is the technological backbone of the Algorand blockchain. And so the normal proof of stake pretty much works that everyone who holds a stake on the blockchain gets a say in block validation. So Algorand's version of proof of stake, as we know, they call it pure proof of stake. It is pure, unaltered, and a proof of stake, and it doesn't use any centralized delegates of fixed committees to validate blocks. Now, what happens on the Algorand blockchain is essentially these three things. Now, number one, the protocol randomly selects committees from the participating Algorand holders. Number two, the selected committee then validate and approve the next block in the chain. And then number three, whenever a block is written into the blockchain, a new set of random committees is made and a block creation process starts again. And so these three things that happen on the Algorand blockchain, far as their version of proof of stake, which they call it pure proof of stake, this allows their protocol to be completely decentralized. It allows it to be transparent, and it allows it to be open source, because you don't know who's validating, the transaction, you don't know who's going to be selected either. And so this keeps it completely, transparent. And so now let's kind of talk about the native cryptocurrency of the Algorand blockchain, also known as Algo. Alright, so what is Algo? The Algo is the native token of the Algorand blockchain, and not only that, Algo has all of the key features of the Algorand blockchain itself. That's pretty big. And so look at these four key features. It is super fast, so every transaction with Algo is complete within 4 seconds. It is scalable, so whether you are the first transaction or the 10 millionth transaction of the day, your Algo transaction will take place within 4 seconds. That is big. And so it's secure. So Algorand and Algo transactions are secured by the unique pure proof of stake consensus that powers the Algorand blockchain. And this is why I want to take a closer look into what exactly is that pure proof of stake. And then last but not least, it is almost free to use, because Algo transactions today, no matter the size, cost a fraction of a penny. And so let's go ahead and move down a little bit more here. You can see the Algo is a leading cryptocurrency because its importance to the Algorand blockchain. Not only that, the token is used to secure the consensus used in building each block. Also, the token is used to pay for every transaction, and soon it will be the token used to govern the growth of the Algorand ecosystem and as governor rewards for those who commit to voting as part of governor. And so as we move on down here, you can see here are the four key parts, again just broken down in a little bit more simplex form for you. You can see the speed, we have the scale, we have the security, and then we have the transparency of the Algo coin. And so here are the real-time metrics here. You have the circulating supply, which we saw when we looked at the price chart. It's around 5.2 billion. We have the max supply, which is 10 billion even. And you have the liquid supply, which is about 5.7 billion, which this includes the Algorand held directly by the Algorand Foundation. And so that is the Algorand cryptocurrency in a nutshell. And so now let's kind of talk about the future of Algorand. Now let's look at some key milestones that's already happened for the project, but first and foremost, let's kind of look at some of the use cases that are already being built on the project Algorand. And so you can see here, if we look at the use cases, hundreds of organizations comprised of fintechs, startups, financial services, institutions, and DeFi are currently building on Algorand. Now, if you look at these 12 use cases, we have infrastructure, insurance, securities, environmental, supply chain, gaming, identity, DeFi, stablecoins, financial institutions, digital assets, government/public sectors. This is big. And just to give you an idea, on how many companies are actually working and using the Algorand technology, check this out. You can see currently more than 500 companies use the Algorand technology. A special feature of the project is the fact that it allows easy creation of financial products, protocols, as well as exchange of values by DeFi. And so this is crazy. You can see all of these companies that are already using Algorand, and you probably didn't even know that. And so let me jump back into this article to show you another fact that maybe you didn't know about Algorand. And so you can see here, VitalPass, the first blockchain-based system to track COVID-19 vaccinations. It has already launched in Colombia, and it plans to launch in several countries in Latin America. And this was a joint project between Algorand and a crypto Latin firm, and you can see the tool is capable of generating user-friendly, reliable, and simple experiences for patients, and it allows users to have a paper certificate to a digital certificate. And so that's just one thing about Algorand. Now let's kind of look at a few other things that's kind of happened already for Algorand, and I definitely think you're going to see what the future could potentially be for Algorand with everything that we've already talked about so far. Now check this out, Borderless Capital to launch a $25 million fund for Miami with Algorand and Circle, and this came out June 2nd this year, 2021. Now check these two highlighted parts out I have here. Borderless Capital Miami will help local companies build platforms for payments and capital markets leveraging Algorand technology. And then check this out. Features of USDC and Circle business services built on Algorand blockchain will also be a part of the venture. But it gets better. Check this out. These are a couple other things I want you to see. The network is coming into popularity in recent weeks thanks to the partnership with the Latin crypto firm, which is behind the new 𝗧𝗓𝗓 crypto wallet. It says Algorand is providing the infrastructure for the wallet, and it was selected over plays like Cardano. This partnership is providing 𝗬𝗧𝗓𝗓 citizens with widespread access to Algorand. And last but not least, here are a few places where you can purchase the Algorand cryptocurrency. You got Coinbase, Binance, and a few other places will be crypto.com, and you also have Voyager as well. Check out the links down in the description if you do want to check that out. All right, future millionaire, so now that we took a look at kind of the future of the Algorand cryptocurrency, that kind of leads us into, is Algorand a good investment? And so let's take a quick overview on what we covered before we get to that. So the first thing we took a look at is the price chart. Secondly, we looked at the Algorand blockchain. Thirdly, the Algorand coin, which is the native currency for the Algorand blockchain. Fourthly, we look at the future of Algorand. So we just kind of looked at some milestones that's happened. We looked at the use cases of Algorand. We looked at how many companies are already using the project and building on it, which definitely helps solidify it. And then now we're going to talk about, is Algorand a good investment? And so when you actually ask this question, this is different for every investor, because just because a project may resonate with me, it may not resonate with you. And so first and foremost, you want to figure out, does this project make sense to me? Do I understand it? And do I think it can be successful in the future? After that, you can kind of look at, what has it done? Does it have utility? Is people building on it? Does it have backing? Which it does. We can already see that. And so honestly, in my opinion, right now it's in the top 20, number 18. Sooner than later, I definitely think Algorand will be in the top 10. That's just my opinion. And so for me personally, I do own Algorand. I had the pleasure of buying it around 57 cents, which is around my average cost. And so I do think Algorand is a cryptocurrency that you may want to hodl for the next 3 to 5 years if you can get in right now. Now it has jumped up quite a bit, as we saw at the very beginning of the video. And so if you're buying at these prices, I will definitely say, try to have that long-term mindset, 3 to 5 years of hodl. Now if something happens before that 3 to 5 years, even better, just be prepared to take those profits. But if you're investing right now as it's shooting up, I still think we can see more happen, but it's going to depend on what happens with the crypto market. And we also have to see Bitcoin raise higher for the market to follow. But for the long term, I do think personally, Algorand is a cryptocurrency you may want to have in your arsenal. Not financial advice, but based off of everything that we saw in my own personal research, I think is one of those cryptos that will be here, and it's not too expensive just yet. And so that's kind of everything I wanted to cover in this video about Algorand. It's so much to actually dig into because it's a pretty big project and it has so many different layers. And so if you haven't connected with me on my social platform on Twitter or Instagram, definitely consider connecting with me at Mike the Investor. Also be very mindful of all of the scammers out here. They are everywhere on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So please be careful. If you haven't checked out the Patreon, definitely consider checking it out, where you can get that inside access for content. The link is in the description. But that is all I got for you. Remember to stay inspired, stay motivated, always invest in yourself, and I'm out.